Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
wanted to let you guys know, 'cause I told YouTube, and I know I spoke to somebody because they did write a comment back. I told them to go fuck themselves. You're not going to keep putting my channel or me in jeopardy over your stupid ass policies. So if we're shadow banned, we're shadow banned. I don't give a shit. I don't care if they take down my monetization. I'm done with YouTube. I have decided I'm either going to college to become an attorney to sue YouTube, or I'm just going to take them on myself or find somebody to do it. One way or another, I'm suing the shit out of YouTube. It's just a matter of time. So I just thought I would throw that out there. YouTube can kiss my ass, take my monetization away. I don't give a shit. Okay? You piss me off too much, what I'll do is I'll develop my own damn channel and bring all the people from that come over here and support me every single day over to my other channel. I really don't give a shit. So it's nice to see everybody this beautiful Saturday, this very, very cold Saturday morning. As you can see, somebody's already pissed in my Cheerios, and I really don't care. Okay? I don't care. You'll find out very quickly. Even when it comes to myself, integrity means everything to me. So I'm not going to kowtow for profit, okay? I'm not going to fall in line for a nickel or a penny, okay? That is not going to happen in a million years, and YouTube needs to get a clue that I am not sitting here being dangled a carrot and said, oh, you must comply. Bullhorn Betty doesn't comply for profit or squat, okay? I just don't. So we're going to keep going down this. I'm going to say this again. Blank Screen has been on here for so many years stalking me and my moderators. I will no longer and unwilling to put up with it any longer. I don't care if he sits there and puts a privacy complaint on every damn one of my channels. I don't care. What I do care about is we are going to find him. And when I do, I'm showing up at his house with the police. And that's all that matters. I'm done playing with this person. I'm done with him jeopardizing my freedom and my life. And from this point forward, I am finding him for the sole purpose of having him arrested for what he has done to me. And I want to make sure everybody understands I am coming after, even YouTube. I'm coming after Blank Screen, and nobody, even YouTube, is going to stand in my way. When I find this man, he's going to jail. And I'm suing the shit out of him. And God forbid if he's at his mommy or grandmommy's house, I'm suing the shit out of them too. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay? The sole purpose of me trying to find Blank Screen is to hold him accountable for what he has done to me and my team. Okay? I have his picture up. People are sharing it with the FBI. People are sharing it with law enforcement around the country. People are reposting it. I'm going to ask you guys to continue to do that on the X account. I'm going to continue to post my X account here on YouTube. YouTube will not silence me. Let me make that clear. So anybody that wants to sit here and complain or report this, please do, and notate this so YouTube can understand how sick and tired I am of playing their bullshit. Okay? You're not going to put me in danger. You're not going to put my team in danger. I will fight back. And if that means suing YouTube, by God, I plan on suing you. Okay? So do whatever retaliatory measures you need to do to Bullhorn Betty, but I'm coming for your ass if you don't protect me or other content creators. Bet your ass on that. Now that we're done with my rant for this morning, we've got a lot to go over. Okay. We haven't been on here. We had a conversation about some of the stuff going on in the world, in our, YouTube sphere, and of course the stuff going on in Minnesota. And there's a lot of stuff that can be had. Okay. Minnesota is the epicenter of just straight up corruption and tyranny by the government, by their local government. And I hope that their local government is arrested and held accountable for what they're doing. They're putting their people in danger and in jeopardy of their life. And that is attempted homicide from where I'm sitting. And if the governor and the mayor is not charged with attempted homicide, which they should be, I am disgusted. First and foremost, I do not like Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi has lost the support of the MAGA movement. I can tell you that. We want Pam Bondi to resign, okay? As far as I'm concerned, she's a blonde bimbo. I don't use those words very often, but I want to ruin her reputation because I want to make sure she has no place to go. She is not MAGA. She needs to be kicked to the wolves. We're done. Okay. But in Minnesota, what we have is we have a government that is using their residents for pawns and gaslighting them in an effort to cover up and hide their corruption in that community. And they're using violent extremists to try to thwart the will of the people and our federal government. They are in violation of federal law, the whole entire state. So let's stop with the nonsense. Guys, we're going to go over a little story here. Let me pull this up. I don't have it up just quite yet, but I just dropped the video on it. I find that my feed is a little bit better when I drop it into YouTube and then play it from YouTube as opposed to trying to pull it from my my system. So I've uploaded it into YouTube. So give me just a second so I can pull it up. I should have had this pulled up before I started, but I was kind of a little eager. Eager is the word. Did I put it in here? Tell me I put it in here. It does not look like I put it in here. How did I not put it in here? I thought it was under... Oh, I know what I need to do. I need to go in here because it's unlisted. That's why. If it's unlisted, it's not going to show up. Well. Because we're not going to set it live until after this show is over. But it's about a 20-year-old case that has just came up, and it's quite interesting because 20 years, neighboring states, 20 years. We have an interesting case coming out of Washington State. For more than 20 years, an Oregon mayor disappeared in 2006. And in Washington State, skeletal remains washed ashore along their beach. But nobody knew the two were connected until just recently. That is correct. The remains of a former Oregon mayor have been identified 2 decades after his disappearance, according to the forensic laboratories that help confirm his identification. Edwin Asher was declared dead in 2006 when authorities presumed that he had drowned crabbing along the Tillamook Bay in Oregon coast, said the laboratory Ortham, which we have recognized this name in the past. Ortham is a recognized name in investigative genealogy testing. So they've been working on this case separately in 2006, November of 2006 specifically. The skeletal remains of an identified person were discovered on a beach in a Quinault Reservation in Gray Harbor County, Washington. At the time, the Gray Harbor Sheriff's Office and the Gray Harbor County Coroner's Office launched an investigation determining that the skeletal remains belonged to an adult male between 20 and 60 years old, which stood about 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed approximately 170 to 180 pounds, according to Ortham. But they could not identify the person beyond that. He became known as the Gray Harbor County John Doe, 2006. Investigators partnered with Ortham when they revisited the case in 2025. Scientists at the laboratory conducted DNA testing and used investigative genetic genealogy, a technique that aims to solve cold cases through relatives of the individuals whose DNA is being tested to eventually confirm Asher's identity. Asher was originally reported missing by his wife in September 2006 after he failed to return home from his fishing trip. Local newspapers, The Historian, reported at the time, Coast Guards searched for the 72-year-old resident of Fossil, a city in central Oregon, found his boat, but no signs of him, according to the newspaper. Asher's wife told the Coast Guard that her husband did not typically wear a life vest while on the bay where his boat was found, and also could not swim. Officials suspected that Asher may have fallen overboard, the Historian reported. According to Asher obituary, he moved to Fossil in 1952 with his first wife and at one point served the city's mayor. He opened a shop called Asher's Variety Store in 1965 and also volunteered as a local fireman and ambulance driver. Asher was survived by 3 biological children, 6 stepchildren, 3 marriages, the obituary stated. This is such a travesty to find out such a wonderful person lost their life while crabbing. Interesting story. But now we know what happened to this mayor 20 years ago. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Bullhorn Betty channel. Take care. Might as well let it end. Sorry, I forgot to let the ending. All right. You guys get it. You guys got it. I think you guys get it. So a mayor, quite interesting. I haven't said hi to everybody. It's been quite a great morning, guys. If you're coming in, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. We already have part 1 of D. Warner up. Okay, if you guys haven't already, that's going to be set as a premiere. It's going to be rolling out first thing 9 a.m. on the 20th. I'm going to try to go ahead and do part 2 and part 3 today. We might be doing part 4 when I arrive back. I'm going to try to get as much of your content done so you guys get to see me during the time that I'm in Tallahassee. So I'm trying to get those done, plus trying to maintain our normal stuff. I'm failing miserably, but that's okay. Okay, that's okay. As long as we can keep the lights on this month, right? As long as we can keep the lights on this month. So we have advocacy. We love advocacy. It's nice to see everybody that comes here every day to support not just our true crime advocacy, but our political advocacy. Melanie, it's nice to see you. Denise, Jacqueline, it's good to have you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says sending love. This cold Saturday. That's an understatement, Melanie. That is an understatement. We all look like freaking ass. Come here, Delilah. Come here. Come. Chop. I'm using you as a Delilah. Now she doesn't want to come. It's funny when I need her, she doesn't come. Come here, pretty girl. Did I leave her outside? I didn't leave her outside. Did I leave her outside? No, I didn't leave her. There she is. Come here. Can you jump? You can barely jump. Look at the snowsuit. Let me get your comment off, okay? It's an understatement, okay? It's freezing, okay? It is like an ice thing out there. Is your paw through? Did I jack up your paw? Did I jack up your paw? I'm so sorry. She hates this jacket too. She hates this jacket, but she looks so cute in it, doesn't she? Aw, see, I'm pretty. Okay, now you guys know why she didn't want to come and see Mommy. She's still mad because I put her in a jacket. She's still angry with me. I gotta make sure she's okay. Mike, it's nice to see you. Nightbot is working. Doris, it's nice to have you. Good morning. Oh, okay. Okay, guys. I got leakage. Okay. Big Mac Mike, Veronica, it's nice to see you. Hello, Kelly. Good morning, Mama. Good morning, Brandon. It's nice to see you, love. Good morning, Joe. Reba, it's nice to see you all. Good morning, my love bucks. Good morning. Don't forget, when you hit that thumbs up button, especially during the cold season, like it's freaking freezing out there, okay? We can all agree we're freezing, okay? I'm in Florida, okay? The hottest place on earth. Well, outside of the Sahara Desert, okay? We come into number 2, okay? All right, Cupcake? And guess what? I'm freezing. I'm going to Tallahassee on Monday, and I'm hearing I might wind up with snow. Snow in Florida, okay? I just want to put that into perspective for everybody. Snow in Florida. That is pretty stinking cold. That's a stinking pretty cold United States of America. Hey, Lisa B. Always. Mally Cat, it's nice to see you guys. I hope you're doing well. Tell me how cold it is. I want to know how cold it is around the country. How cold is it around the country? Little Orange Man, it's nice to see you. Freezing. Well, you guys see Delilah. She looks like a little Eskimo. Okay, I got her wrapped up. I'm pretty sure because the house is warm. I still got her in that damn jacket. It's because it's a pain in the ass to put it on her, okay? I have to be honest with you. I don't enjoy it. She doesn't enjoy it, but that particular one, like the onesie she likes, but that one right there, you got to try to get all 4 paws in it at the same time. You got to lift her up. Then you got to zip it up the back and then, button it down the back. And then you got to put the little thingies on that goes clink so you can put the leash on it, So we got 33. What do we got? We got 33 in Tennessee. Oh, good gracious, Reba. That's too damn cold. Pennsylvania is 24. Malibu, I don't know where you're at. I forget. I always forget where you're at. But Little Orange Man, 40 degrees. What is it here in Florida? It's pretty freaking cold here. Hold on, let me 45 degrees. I'm not lying. It's 45 degrees. 45 degrees. Okay, guys. Ohio's 32. Wisconsin. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Adrienne, it's nice to see you. Valerie saying 24 in Detroit. Oh, my goodness. You guys are like 20 degrees colder than I am here. 20 degrees. Like, that's a lot. Mike is right about, she's like, I wish it was 45, right? Oh, dear gracious. 12 degrees in Illinois. 37. Well, actually, it's not too bad. I mean, compared to 12 in Illinois, no offense, Ganja, but, 37, at least you're about 15 degrees colder. Or warmer, I should say. Hey, Grave Crime. It's nice to see you, love. Good morning. Good morning. Small town, Easter Oregon. Oh, my goodness. 18 degrees. Holy crap. You guys are making my bones hurt. Okay, well, I guess I'll have to just be blessed with 45 degree weather. Oh, man. Well, I gotta have my buttons. Hold on. Let's get the buttons loaded up here. We got the buttons. We need the mystery button. It's going to take me a second. We weren't prepared. Well, there's a lot of reasons why we weren't completely prepared this morning. One, you just saw the intro video, right? I was just doing that intro video. Then, 2, I had to set all this up. We're in the office today, which is nice. Yesterday, I didn't even want to get up. There we go. We got the buttons back. 6 miles. Oh, no. Green Bay. Is that Green Bay? New York City? What's GWB? Don't be... Betty is not smarter than a 5th grader, folks, okay? I just want to remind you that. So, before we get started... Oh, George Washington. Come on, Betty. I'm not from New York, okay? I'm from Florida. I've been on that bridge one time in my entire life, and that was after 9/11. And it's because I wanted to go see it, but I couldn't figure it out, and it scared the crap out of me being in New York City, literally like Manhattan and all these other places where people just pull right out in front of you. So I went through, no, it was the Holland. It wasn't George Washington. Damn it. It was the Holland Tunnel. The Holland Bridge or whatever it's called. That was the one I did, not the George Washington. Did I go over George Washington Bridge? It's been so many years ago. Cause I was across over in New Jersey taking photos of the downed, the Twin Towers that I haven't gone since 9/11. I was there. I went by. I couldn't get close. Obviously, nobody could get close, but you had a really good view, from New Jersey. So we were the Holland Bridge, whatever it's called. I can tell you, New York City didn't like Betty, and that was before Betty was a Betty. I just want to let you guys know that was before. My laughy button just has never worked on this box. I don't like it. It's the most important button. It's the most important button, All right, guys, I know you guys are so super excited about, political advocacy. Oh, thank you. Oh, you gifted a membership as well? Oh, my goodness. Is that what it says? Did I miss something? I I guess so. Mike became the newest member. Thank you, Melanie. Melanie gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. Welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum, which Mike already knows about because Mike had the room next to mine for years. That's what Mike sounds like at night. You guys want to know what Big Mac Mike sounds like?
All I can say is it's totally fake news. It's just fake. It's fake. It's made up stuff.
Thank you, guys. Welcome to this crazy, crazy family. We are crazy. We are cray-cray. We got a few more nuts than the rest of them, but that's okay. It keeps things spicy. All right, guys. I know you guys have been so interested in what I was doing all day, and I mean all day Thursday. I was in a meeting for over 8 hours. Before we get started, let me go ahead and start my recording. I'm going to be recording here in just a second. Where the heck is my tissue? Do I even have tissue in here anymore? My nose is running. I don't know why I have horrible allergies, and nothing I take ever truly gets rid of my allergies, ever. Okay. So I know you guys are so very interested in what I was doing all day Thursday for Manatee County, even though it affects literally probably 0 of you. I don't know if we even have one person that's in our live broadcast right now that actually is from Bradenton or Manatee County. I might be surprised. But I digress. I know so many of you guys just want to know what in the world would I was doing all day Thursday. Well, I was in a meeting all day Thursday. I was not happy. Nobody enjoys doing this stuff. Okay, this is not an enjoyable job for me. It's just a necessary job, right? Somebody's got to do it. So this is me kind of coming in because we weren't so effective, on the last planning commission. As many of you guys know, my sole purpose for this session, for this, process is stopping the building. I don't know how many of you guys are having problems around this country, but our developers are out of control. Okay, we've got D, E, and F roads. If you guys don't know what that means we have a lot of congestion. What happens when you have a lot of people on the road and a lot of congestion? You have a lot of car wrecks. When you have a lot of car wrecks, what happens? You have a lot of injuries. When you have a lot of injuries, what happens? You start having a lot of what? Fatalities on your roadway. Okay, I love thy neighbor. I may not get along with them, but on a human level, I love thy neighbor. Okay? I want my neighbors to thrive. I want them to be around to argue with Bullhorn Betty. Okay? I don't want to see them going bye-bye. Is it going to help my position? Maybe. But we don't really care about the position, when it comes down to life, right? Because human life trumps everything. We want to make sure our people are okay. Well, it's becoming dangerous here in Manatee County and certain areas of our county because of the overdevelopment and the lack of infrastructure. That means the roadways can't handle the traffic. It's becoming a toxic wasteland in certain parts of our community. And I'm sure you guys probably understand that, right? Many of you guys are probably dealing with some similar stuff in your own communities. Well, this is me advocating so it doesn't happen in mine, right? And sometimes you are not effective. Like I'm a boil on the ass of a politician. I love going in there and seeing everybody roll their eyes at me. Like, we got to deal with her today. I love that. That's what I want. That's the effect I like to have, okay? That makes people understand, and it also shows where I stand in this county, right? If they weren't rolling their eyes at me, I wouldn't have any pull. Therefore, I would be ineffective, okay? I want them rolling their eyes at me because it makes me realize how effective I am. When that stops, well, then we got to get a little more radical, right? I'm not being radical. I'm being diplomatic. So it's not effective when I'm holding just my my commissioners accountable, right? Because they get voted every 4 years. They look at me some days and just give me the middle finger. It's like like George Cruz, take me out. I'm gonna be here for another 3 years, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? I can make their life a living hell for the next 3 years. That's what I plan on doing about it for him, right? But in the grand scheme of things, we get ourselves in a pickle, and it's time to start holding other people accountable. So what do? Now I'm holding my planning commission accountable, right? And not only am I holding my planning commission accountable, now I'm starting to let the employees know that Bullhorn Betty, me, which everybody can't stand, remember, because I am such a pain in the ass, right? Because I'm a boil on the ass of a politician, right? So they don't like me there. Now I'm letting the employees know that we're starting to look at you now. So what am I doing? I'm letting the commissioners know that they're going to be held accountable. I'm letting our voluntary planning board know that we're going to hold them accountable. And I'm letting our employees, which are the ones that are probably getting paid more than our commissioners, and definitely because our planning board gets zero for their services, by the way. But at the end of the day, we have the employees that are now knowing that they're going to have to be dealing with me, and I'm coming for their jobs. I would never want to be on the other end of me, okay? Especially whenever I have made a decision, and this is the best pathway, and this is something that everybody that I support, that I, represent, because I represent thousands of people in this county, by the way, because I'm an activist and advocate. And those people there are sending me out here, keeping me, engaged, calling my phone, letting me know their positions, letting me know this, that, and the other. Well, at the end of the day, we now have to hold the employees accountable. So here's me holding everybody accountable and letting them know we're not taking any prisoners, okay? Your jobs are all on the line. Everybody's job is on the line. Andrew Griffin, Manatee County activist and advocate. I kind of mimic some of Glenn Gibellina's concerns from last week. Very concerned about the behavior of this board. We have a few things. First of all, our community here has spoken very clearly. The building is out of control. Concurrency is killing people in this community. So unless each and every one of you want to start knocking on these parents' doors and telling them why their young child is not coming home because of the stuff you guys are approving here, then you guys need to start thinking long and hard, because the stuff out east is killing people. It's killing them. So concurrency is a problem here. Taking our roads from A and Bs to Ds and Fs are going to be an issue that I am taking note of. I'm taking note of the planners, and I'm taking note of the managers. I am no longer going to be holding our commissioners in the planning board accountable and our commissioners on Manatee County Commission accountable. We're going to start holding employees accountable here as well. So what we're going to be asking is people to start looking at concurrency, start doing what's right for this community and for the residents that reside in this community, start making our roads safer. This is no longer a debatable issue. This has to come. You guys are our first line of defense. We expect you guys to start doing what you need to do to hold this line. People are dying, and unless you want to start taking the sheriff's door knocking and explaining that to them, you guys need to start thinking, okay? But at the end of the day, the concurrency and the rezoning is out of control here. We're going to be clawing some of the back. We're asking our elected officials and our appointed officials to assist us in that. And this is not coming from one activist. This is coming from thousands of people that I represent in this county. Thousands of people. Glenn Gibellina also represents thousands of people in this county. So we're hoping that you guys heed our warnings. We're no longer playing with this board. We're no longer playing with our employees. And we're more importantly, no longer playing with our commissioners. Thank you for your time. I think that is a great example of saying what I mean, meaning what I say, and not saying it mean. You come up, you speak from a place of power. At the end of the day, they are our employees. Everybody that you see. I mean, this is a voluntary board, but they're a voluntary board for what? What is the planning board there for? They're there to help in deciding whether these are good for the community, okay? For the community. And when you have roads that are Fs and you're putting 800 more houses on an F road, you are literally trying to kill a resident of this county. I am not going to ever get behind that for a greedy builder. Okay, I am a capitalist, I am a Republican, but at the end of the day, life matters to me and a lot of the activists in this community. And we fight for that. We fight for thy neighbor, even the neighbors that we argue with. Okay. We love people, okay? I don't enjoy spending 8 hours fighting for an ungrateful community, okay? If I didn't love my community, I damn sure would not be doing this, because you guys half of you guys won't even go out here and do this, okay? This is not self-serving by any stretch of the imagination. This is what you see when you give back to a community, okay? This was 8 hours of my life that I will never get back again. And what was it over? To stop building. Why? To save a resident's life. I don't live out there. You know, the chances of the roadways affecting my life in a point where it's a life or death situation is so minimal because I'm in town so far. But these are happening out further east, and it's becoming a very serious issue for our residents. So the next, what did I do here? Oh, of course I do something like this. The next one is at 5. I only spoke 3 times throughout this whole thing. So this was at the 8-minute mark. Now we're going to go to the 5-hour mark, okay? Yes, I was there for literally 5 hours. I was there for 8 hours. I left after I spoke my last time, I left. So we'll get this done real quick. And this was over, I think, another property being put out there in this same area, that I'm talking about. They're wanting to put 800 houses out there.
AE zones. So the potential for...
Thank you. At this time, let's open it up for citizen comments.
And this is for a property, and this is what you guys got to
Please
do.
step forward.
So why am I
State
showing you
your name,
this?
that you've been sworn
Inspiration.
in the county you reside in.
I've been sworn. Thank you.
Andrew Griffin, Manatee County activist and advocate. I have been sworn. So what I'm hearing from staff is this has no impact on our wetlands, no impact on our roads, no impact on anything, but we are having an F road out there, something that's going to be an F road. We're finding out that Rye Road is on the CIP, but there's no funding for Rye Road. So the chances after they have to purchase property to widen the road, them pushing that out even further, is a real possibility. Meanwhile, we're going to be adding 733 new homes with a daily peak trip of 599, with our employees saying that there's no impact on this area, by the way. Meanwhile, we've been here at least 2 weeks talking about this specific area and the dangers of Rye Road. I've actually requested for our commissioners to start putting stop signs out on Rye Road to try to prevent people from dying.
I'm using these words for reasons, okay? I want them to understand the fact that they are potentially killing residents. Have there been residents dead, from driving out there? Yes. Is there about one every year, every 2 years? Yes. Is it something happening weekly? No. But they need to get a clue. It could, right? It's serious.
So our housing is starting to slow down. We're starting to have BlackRock and other places like that blocked at a federal level. Markets are starting to stabilize. People are starting to become upside down on their properties, and some already are. And then again, we've got our own staff telling us that Rye Road is going to fail without widening. We have no guarantees on when this road is going to be widened, and we're going to add another 800 homes on this road. And trust me, this is not the only one coming for you guys, to add hundreds of people and hundreds of homes in this area near Rye Road, where we've already had multiple fatalities. In Rye Road on the other end, further north, We just had State Road 64 shut down. We had a 16-year-old in 2021, I believe, or 2024, run out in front of a semi-truck, a 16-year-old boy, dead. So, I mean, I'm really trying here to wake our employees up, to wake our planning commission up, and to wake our commissioners up, our county commissioners in this county, that this is really starting to affect our residents, and it's becoming a danger. And if that's not concurrency, I don't know what is. So I am going to be asking this board to please deny this build. Again, they've come here, they've had every opportunity to build 231 homes in this area twice, in the 90s and early 2000s, and now they're coming back 20 years later and wanting to add 733 homes to an area that they didn't deem appropriate to put 231 homes on twice. Thank you for your time.
Okay, and then lastly, we're going to get through this because I'm recording this, and this is going to be published on my personal account on Facebook. So I want to make sure I capture this last clip. So this next clip is related to, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a company called Mosaic. Mosaic is a phosphate mining company. So they dig into our earth and they get these phosphate rocks, okay? And these phosphate rocks, they turn into fertilizer. This is chemicals. These are very, very dangerous chemicals that pollute our air, pollute our ground, pollute our water. Mosaic is, they talk about how they reclaim land and all this other stuff. But when you look behind the scenes, you realize that they're damaging our environment very, very much. And this is not reclamation. And they keep extending the reclamation in our community. We had a national disaster, folks. If you guys want to look it up, it's called Piney Point, Manatee County. Very scary stuff. Very, very scary stuff. You're talking about radioactive material, and it started busting out through the walls of this chemical plant that had been abandoned. So you're talking about radioactive waters going into our waterways, seeping into our ground, getting into our drinking water. A lot of people in that area, that specific area, are on well water. It was very, very scary to have radioactive material seeping out of the sides of these huge, like, I don't even know what you call them. They're just these like huge pools with tens of thousands and millions of gallons of this radioactive water. And the linings, like they're required to have these thick linings. But when you have a chemical plant that's been abandoned, the stuff that's usually maintained by the employees is now breaking down, and it's causing the pressure of this toxic water pushing through the brim, the wall. It's like a wall of dirt, but the pressure just pushes a hole right through it. And so all of this water is just spewing out of the sides. So that's what we had to deal with Piney Point. And so you can imagine us having another chemical mining type of company in this county after just dealing with a national disaster where the White House had to literally help us, like the Army Corps of Engineers. Like, we had to have feds here. We had to have a federal, state, and local partnership to try to get this under control, because the result was like almost $1 billion or something to clean up this. Like, we don't have that kind of money just laying around to deal with this. So we had to get millions and millions of dollars federally. We had to get millions of dollars from the state. We had to have companies come in and tell us how to clean this water and pump it back into the ground safely. It was insane. And so we don't want to deal with that again. And so we're saying no to this Mosaic, and they're coming to us and saying we want to do this for 14 more years. We realize we haven't reclaimed a damn bit of property, but we want to stay open for 14 more years. But we promise to reclaim the property. Okay, we've had it. At least I have. And it seems like we had the will of the board as well. So this is the last video that I have related to commentary. And of course, this is at the 8-hour mark because, yes, again, we were there for 8 hours. This is a labor of love, folks, okay? People don't go out here and do this because this is an enjoyable job, okay? This is advocacy. Advocacy means you think of everybody else but yourself, okay? I don't go into these meetings to serve for my own personal well-being. I do not serve myself. I serve the community. That is my job, to be of service to others. And so that is what I do. So if you guys do decide to get involved in your community, yes, it's things that bother you that initially bring you into the rooms, but you'll find out your service extends far beyond you, and you start becoming an advocate for your community. And you know what? For those people, you guys are heroes, okay? For the people that sit home, if you guys need to sit home or you can't make it, I don't want to disrespect you, but support people that go here and make it. You can always write whenever you know that these things are going on. Maybe you're shy. Maybe you're not, in the public eye. I was never in the public eye. I never even spoke publicly. I was always, a little shy when it came to public speaking. But that was until a certain point, because once you get to a fed up point, you realize things start coming organically. Things start coming out of you naturally. You start realizing how to take your thought process, how to put it all into words and to express it. And the more you start doing it, trust me, but for me to be this abrasive, it took me a long time to get here. And it took me getting pushed around a lot and getting stomped on and people having their foot on my neck before you realize you have a voice, you have a place, and you can use it. Don't be intimidated. You are more powerful than you think you truly are. And if I can inspire a few people to do this and a few people to get out there, think about how much better our country would be all over this world, right? We're just here in the United States. I'm just here in Florida, but we have people literally from all over the world in this chat. We have people from all over this particular country in this chat. If we can inspire only 2% of our total base of 40,000 people, think about how much better the United States of America would be. Only 2% of our base, our entire base. And like Southern Grammy, she's involved. She's involved and she was inspired by this channel. And I hope that many other people do as well. So thank you guys. Thank you for your leadership. All right, guys, here we go. This is the last and final. This is related to the Mosaic phosphate mining plant. And again, this plant scares me. I'm not going to lie to you. I want them out of my community. And I think I said it as nicely as I can possibly say it. But, sometimes you got to be firm and let people know you mean what you're saying, that you're being very nice. But at the end of the day, you don't want it here.
Andrew Griffin, Manatee County activist advocate. Good afternoon. I live right here in Manatee County. I'm here today because I care deeply about this place we all call
Ms. Griffin,
home.
have you been sworn?
I have been sworn. Thank you. Our air, our water, our families, and our future. I want to talk about the company called Mosaic. Mosaic is a fertilizer company. They dig up rocks from our earth and they use it to fertilize farms. But the problem is they leave behind dangerous water and, dangerous waste and dirty water. It's kind of like leaving your room messy, and when your mommy tells you to go clean it up, you shove everything under your bed. After a while, it starts building up. So Mosaic is fined many times throughout the year and throughout the years here in Florida. Equipment isn't safe enough. OSHA, the group that makes sure workers stay safe, fine them, again, for serious safety problems. I have provided you guys a list of major hazardous waste violations. I even, and I'll put this up on the screen next, even put a schedule here for you guys to show you guys all the fines that we've had from Mosaic in quite some time. Now, one thing I do want to notice, which I think is quite interesting, is that out of all the plants, every single plant they've had fines in, except Manatee County.
Interesting.
So that's always problematic for me because I'm a conspiracy theorist in most cases, and I find that a little bit interesting. That every other place in the state of Florida has been fined, but Manatee County. So somebody's obviously not doing their job. So we've got 2015, $810 million in fines. 2009, $32 million penalty. 2016, this is in Lake Wales, $4.1 million. 2016, hazardous waste violation, 1.45. We can go down now, wow, in the late 2000s, early 2000s, all the way up to recently, to 2024. We've got a whole bunch of fines, millions of dollars worth of fines here for air pollution, environmental fines, EPA fines, safety work hazards. What about the 29-year-old man in 2024?
I think it was a woman,
right here,
not a man, which is even sadder.
identified Jamaica Williams, was pulled into a ribbon blender. That sounds great. That person died at one of their plants. So as far as, Mosaic, I think after Piney Point, the residents here in Manatee County got smart, okay? And when we start hearing phosphate and chemicals and stuff like that, we don't like it, okay? The residents here, I can tell you, do not like it. After the scare we had with Piney Point, it terrifies us to have this plant here. I'm sure these people are wonderful people. They work for a wonderful company. I don't want it here. I don't want it in Manatee County. I know there's a lot of people that don't want this business here. Now, we're stuck with it. Now, I just want to put this in perspective. This all came about, 1975, 1977? I wasn't even born yet. I'm a middle-aged woman right now with gray hair, and they're still talking about staking another 14 years before they're out of our hair. My recommendation here is, I know we're kind of in a pickle. So we have statutory requirements that we're required to deal with. Okay. So the mechanism is, let's only do what our statutory requirement is. If we're required by statute to sign something for these folks, bare minimums, no requests, none. They want us to do them a favor? None. I think we've done enough favors for them. They've been here for, again, over 48 years now. If they start, their first plant was in 1977. I was born in 1979. I'm 46 years old. That means they've been in this county for 48 years, telling us they're going to reclaim our land. Yet, we don't have reclaimed land 48 years later. We actually have more requests for more digging, more requests for pollution, air pollution, water pollution, danger to our citizens. And God forbid Mosaic goes under, we're dealing with another Piney Point issue. So that's my recommendations. I hope you guys make a good decision for the betterment of the residents here, which that's the only people you guys need to be concerned with. Thank you.
All right, that is what we had to deal with on Thursday. Again, 8 hours. It was over a 9-hour meeting. I left after I made these statements and I listened to the vote. I did want to let you know we were able to block all of the bad requests before this board. So out of the 5, 1 was passed, 4 were denied. It does help for even just 2 activists being in these planning meetings, because we're giving them insight on what the community is saying. Like we don't have a dog in the fight. I mean, Glenn does when it comes to, VA and stuff like that. And I absolutely support any advocacy toward our veterans and our homeless vets and stuff like that. We need to take care of them. I'm completely supporting, Glenn in that respect. But That's really the only dog in the fight that he has. All these other things are really for our neighbors. They're really for the betterment of the community. We're not looking at the applicants. We're not looking at the builders or the developers. We're solely looking at the betterment of the community as a whole and whether the community members want this project. That is the only thing we're looking at. Now, we have some things that are unfortunately out of our control. You know, there's not a whole lot we can do with the project. You know, the project, it meets all the requirements. You know, there are going to be some areas where it's a C road. We can't block it. The only way you can block it is concurrency and rezoning. But if they meet certain requirements, then you know, and they're willing to do certain things, then the rezoning is going to go through. So I'm not going to, you know, confuse you all about what was going on here, but advocacy does work, okay? That's all I'm going to tell my audience. Advocacy does work. And if you can't be at meetings, please support the people that can. All right, guys, so back to our regularly scheduled show. We have some information that is coming about, and it looks like, you know, we're getting some developments in the Ellen Greenberg. Not necessarily the developments that we are searching for, but they're developments that may get us there. As you guys know, Ellen Greenberg, she was found deceased in her apartment. It's very, very strange. I don't trust her fiance. I don't think anybody's ever trusted him. But she was 27 years old in 2011 when this all took place. And since then, her family has been fighting for a legitimate and real investigation into the homicide of their daughter. I'm going to say homicide. I'm not going to agree with the professionals in this that she was self-harmed and she did this to herself, because we have common sense. We have a brain. We've been doing this for a really long time, and we know for a fact that there is no possibility that this woman could have made those injuries to herself. It's impossible. And to this day, after all of the professionals, nobody can ever justify how this happened or reconcile it. Nobody can sit here and say how she could have done this to herself when they are put to the test to explain how she could survive and how she can continue to stab even after her spinal cord has been severed, right? And nobody can explain that to me. Nobody can explain that to the world. Nobody can explain that to the judge. But everybody seems to be wholly convinced she did this to herself. It's disgusting. It shows you how out of touch. If this happened in Manatee County, people's jobs would be on the line. People would be fired. Okay? And the reason why I'm constantly always bringing that up is because I want people to understand that we're not a perfect county. Manatee County is not a perfect county, but I truly believe that the people in this county always try to do the right thing. And that's what keeps us in the right side of all of these arguments. Here in Florida, the majority of people always want to do the right thing. Not the trendy thing, not the path of least resistance like Minnesota or these other states. We do it the right way. We do it the long way. We do it the tireless way. We do it the hard way, the harder way, because it's right. Right? If people did this in Manatee County, you would have people like Glenn or me or somebody else standing up and fighting for people. I don't understand why we don't have that elsewhere, but it seems like we don't. And in the case of Ellen Greenberg, there's not a whole lot of people, at least that are being public, that are holding these people to the fire. One of the best strategies I have, and this is for advocacy, is always have that phone out, always be recording, always putting these people on the spot, right? If you do that, you move people, right? Because they don't want to be looking stupid to the rest of the world. Like they can usually, like Sumner County, they can keep themselves in their own ecosystems, pat themselves on the back and act like what they're doing is right until it's exposed to the rest of the world and they are shunned because of their behavior. That's what needs to happen here in Pennsylvania. People that are here, like that Krasner guy, that frickin' DA, he needs to be fired. He needs to be fired. Period. His leadership is shit. And for Kada's, I'm so angry with Kada's family. I love people, but it angers me when they are so toxified and so brainwashed into literally standing next to the man that created the possibility of their child being murdered. I would never. Okay? If anybody's policies got my child, my family member, my mommy, my daddy, my sisters, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins injured in any way, you are not going to have me standing by you. You're not going to have me sitting here promoting your race. I don't know how they were able to convince Kada's family to do that. I don't know how. I thought it was deplorable. And you know what? I'm going to tell you guys, and I said this when it happened. If something ever happens to me and my mommy or my daddy stand next to the people that provided the policies that got my life gone, smack my mommy. Okay? Shake her. Ask her, what the hell are you doing? Okay? I mean, I'm sure they were going through a lot of emotions, and that's where it is. But still, we knew where the problem came from. That problem acknowledged he was the problem. And then ran off when people wanted to ask him questions and hold his feet to the fire like a freaking coward. And then they still stood by him and still promoted his race. He's the exact reason why their daughter is going into a grave. It was awful. It was awful. And I feel bad for the family. But damn. You know? There ain't no way that would have been me. It's just sad. But this is the same area, the same DA that's overseeing Ellen Greenberg. Same guy. Same blessed guy. All of this pain he's caused all these families. And we got families standing up there and supporting him and saying he needs to be hired as the DA. He needs to be fired. Look at all of this pain he has caused his residents, and you guys are still putting him in office. What do you want somebody like me to say about that? It's very, very hard. You know, I try to talk about these cases, but like this kind of stuff, it's angering. It's frustrating, you know? Like, we're all here. We've got 94 people in this chat on a Saturday morning. And we've been going for well over an hour now. So we've had people up before 8 o'clock in the morning, coming here, learning about cases. People want to help. And it's so frustrating for so many people to watch and try to advocate. And then we have the families that just... I don't even know what to say. I can tell you that Ellen Greenberg's family's probably sick and tired of this DA. They've had to deal with him since 2011. I mean, Kada Scott, I mean, at this point, their murderer's in jail. I mean, after this guy let their daughter's murderer out to kill her, and then they go and stand right by his side, say, oh, please vote for him. He's the best of the best. He got our daughter killed. So we're finding out there's a federal investigation that's now underway as of this year, as of this month, as of just a few days ago. The U.S. Attorney's Office. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Let Them 66. It's nice to see you, Love Bug. I hope you're doing well. She says, good morning. By the way, let's give you an applause for that. Good morning, BHP, Delilah, mods, and chat. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Prayer warriors. Woo, 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 woo! I pray God blesses you with miracles of love and abundance. I love that. I love that. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. morning. It's nice to see you. So we've got this thing, but look, guys, this is good news. As of January this year, just a few days, I think it was like a day or two ago, the U.S. Attorney's Office of Eastern District of Pennsylvania has reportedly opened an investigation and issued subpoenas to multiple agencies, including the Philadelphia Police Department and the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office. He should have been fired this election. We cannot fix stupid. Guys, we can help as many people as we can, but we can lead you guys to water, but we can't make you drink. Okay? Please don't be a Kada Scott family member. Please don't do that again. The probe focuses on potential criminal corruption in how the case was handled. Ooh! Ooh! Listen to this. This probe is focusing on potential corruption on how the case was handled. You know why? Because they screwed up the investigation, and instead of just saying, hey, we screwed up the investigation, they lied, hid, and tried to steal the fact that they screwed up this investigation, and because they screwed up this investigation, turned it into a suicide so they didn't have to do the work or explain how horribly they screwed this case up. That is conspiracy. And that is a criminal conspiracy, because now you have a whole bunch of people lying on official documents. Wow, I kind of like how this is going. That's what we need. It doesn't surprise me. I bet you the DA's office is all types of involved in this. So I'm sure Kada's family can be happy to know that they've put this man in office to hurt more people. You know? And I'm sorry, I've got to say it like that. People are going to say, Betty, that's mean, that's rude. They're victims. I get it. You don't stand next to somebody that is the reason why your child is deceased. I'm sorry. I will stand on my hill. I will look like a piece of shit, but you know what? I ain't going to be that piece of shit, okay? His policies are exactly why Kada Scott is gone. Okay, he was the one that made the ultimate decision not to prosecute Keon King, even though he had all of the evidence in the world against him, because the girl didn't show up because she was scared. That is not a reason. He tried to punish a victim and tried to be cocky about it, and a woman lost her life because of it. And then her family stands up there next to him and promotes him for the DA. It's enough to make me want to vomit in my mouth. Okay? It's enough to make me vomit in my mouth. He was the absolute decision maker in letting Keon King released. Nobody else. Him. 100% him. And he stood on his platform and said just like that. That means that he is 100% responsible on why Kada Scott is dead. And her family sat right next to him and supported him for DA. How dare you? How dare you? And now we have another family being destroyed by that same man. And their investigation is still ongoing. I'm not okay with this. Okay? And I'm not going to shy away from my words, even if you guys are saying that the words are offensive. I don't care. A beautiful 20-something-year-old in a grave when she should be living her life is offensive to me. So if I hurt somebody's feelings because of that, oh well. This is the Bullhorn Betty channel, okay? This isn't Betty Crocker. So now we have Jennifer Coffindaffer saying the United States Attorney's Office of the Eastern District of Pennsylvania is re-examining the Ellen Greenberg case. And it is terrific news. But we're also finding out it's because of the criminal conspiracy within that. It looks like they're going after the officials in this case for screwing up this case and then trying to cover up and lie about it. That is the criminal conspiracy in my book. And I hope that ultimately justice is served for Ellen Greenberg. She deserves the justice. But let's just take a few moments, see if we can hear something from Jennifer Coffindaffer. Let me go ahead and pull this up. And listen to this.
27-year-old Ellen Greenberg died of 20 stab wounds. Initially, her death was ruled a homicide. Stab wounds in her head.
That's remind you. They did rule this a homicide. Now, she had knife wounds on the back side of her, and they were even able to prove that one severed her spinal cord and additional stabs were identified after the spinal cord injury, which would make it next to impossible because the spinal cord injury would have incapacitated her. That means she wouldn't have been able to move, okay? There's no possibility of her moving her arms or her legs, yet she continued to stab herself. That defies logic, folks. It defies logic.
Head all along her back, in her chest. There was no way anyone could look at this photograph and not believe someone did this to Ellen. However,
Yep.
after this case was initially ruled a homicide, the next day it was changed to a suicide.
It was changed to self-harm. It was changed to self-harm. And the more we have, content creators that are failing to willing to say proper English language and defined words such as suicide, I'm no longer playing with YouTube anymore about proper English and providing proper journalistic speech and commentary. Suicide is defined in the English language, okay? It is what law enforcement uses. It's what clinicians use. It is a word that is used and well recognized in the medical field. I am no longer willing to sacrifice my freedoms of speech for the oligarchs of these platforms. We have a right to speech. We have a right to defined terms. And we as journalists, independent journalists, and citizen journalists must honor that. And we must use, despite whether or not they try to control our speech, we cannot allow them to control our speech. Okay? I'm losing a lot of money because I refuse to allow them to control our speech on this channel. And I'm welcoming other content creators to please do the same thing. This is our First Amendment right. We have freedom of speech and freedom of press, and these are clearly defined words in the English language. And if you are too offended by proper English and proper words, you don't have any reason to be in the true crime genre. Okay? Just my opinion, which I'm entitled to.
with her fiance, who then apparently went to go work out. And when he returned, the door was locked from the inside. He worked to somehow open it, and he found her.
And nobody, from my understanding, we thought that there was a worker there with him watching him push it open. But from my understanding, there wasn't. When he broke into the house, he was all by himself. So even the whole thing of the front door being locked was only his statement that could not be corroborated by anybody else, but did appear to be corroborated because of the evidence, because the lock itself had been broken. Actually, I think I heard that it wasn't broken. Actually, he said it was locked, but this is the actual door in their house at the time. No damage. It doesn't look like there was any damage whatsoever to anything. And this is the door from that crime scene. That's right. That's right. That's what I remember now. That's what the caveat was. He said he had to break in the door, but there was no damage or evidence that he actually did break into the door, from my understanding. I don't know.
From the inside, he worked to somehow open it, and he found her dead.
And he found her dead. We do not believe that that aspect of what they say the events were. Guys, now we're going to get into the part of our show where I'm going to provide you guys some quick updates on cases that we previously covered that you may want to know about. As you guys see, this is Austin Drummond. He was accused of a quadruple homicide of his family members. So his baby's mama, his girlfriend that's pregnant, probably has had the baby at this point, but she was very much pregnant at the time he carried out this quadruple homicide, and he murdered his girlfriend's sister, niece, nephew, and niece's fiance, leaving and orphaning her great niece. So it's quite interesting that we have a situation where Austin Drummond is literally putting feces and other things all over his jail cell as he awaits trial for this quadruple homicide. So the judge and everybody, because the local staff could no longer handle or control him, the courts decided to send him to prison while he awaits his trial instead of county lockup, because county lockup cannot handle him. And so his attorney appealed that order, and the appeal courts have affirmed the transfer because he is so out of control that local staff don't have the ability to keep him under control as he awaits his trial. It's a major safety concern for the staff as well as Austin. So I thought that was interesting. Jaden's Law, I wanted you guys to hear this. This is Jaden Spicer. We didn't spend a whole lot of time on his case because as soon as we got into his case, within a day or two, his mother had confessed. They ended up finding his body about 19 miles away on a rural area. And then later, the stepfather was arrested in an accessory after the fact and type of conspiracy type of charges. They believe he was actively helped his wife cover up the crime, but she was the ultimate one that took him out. And apparently they have a law that they're trying to have, Jaden's Law. And I wanted you guys to hear a little more about this. We might have an advertisement that does pop up because I didn't play this before, which we do. So give it just a second.
New details in the case of a man accused of setting a fire in downtown London. Fire crews pulled Scotty Seeley out of McCunnigan and Cunningham.
I must have already ran through the first one. So I'll just give you the many throughout the region are taking action to make sure cases like Jaden Spicer never happen again. The death of a 10-year-old boy led to the arrest of his mother and stepfather. A petition for Jaden's Law would create a stronger child protection laws in Kentucky. Joe Clark, the original petitioner for Jaden's Law, said when he learned of the outcome of Spicer's death, he began working and researching immediately. This is an advocate. This is a child advocate that jumped in. I just want to let you know what you're hearing here. Jaden needs to be remembered. No child should have to go through what he did, and that's why his name That's why his name in his honor to prevent this from happening to other kids. Clark said the bill would protect all children younger than 18, close to custody loopholes, raising penalties for child abuse and manslaughter, strengthening daycare and online safety, and giving prosecutors and law enforcement the tools needed to stop abuse before it turns deadly. Our kids cannot wait any longer. How many more kids are we going to have to lose due to crime and abuse before Kentucky steps up? This is something that we need to be doing in Tennessee as well. Clark believes that if the bill were in action in August, Spicer would still be alive. As of Wednesday, more than 3,000 people are dedicated to putting Jaden's Law into action, including State Senator Brandon Smith, who claims he spent hours searching for Spicer himself. I know one thing, we are looking for that little boy, and that's why I call him the little boy lost. I mean, he was lost maybe even before she did this to him, because he fell through the cracks of the system, and I'm going to desperately try to fix that system. That's what Senator Smith said. So if you guys don't remember the details of this case, this young boy was in the custody of his his grandmother, and his grandmother passed away. She lost her life. She had a medical event and she died. And he was forced back into the home with his mother, and I don't even think he was there a month before he disappeared. And many people, originally thought maybe he went to his grandmother's grave, because he had been raised by his grandmother, and this must have been an emotional toll on him, being away from the comfort and the stability of his grandmother and back into the home of instability. And I don't think he lasted a full month before he was ultimately killed by his mother. Now, this very well could be different. I might have some of the dates wrong. He might have been there a little bit longer, a little bit less. He may not even have been there a month. He might have been there for a few months. I don't remember the specific details of his particular case, but I do remember he was living with his grandmother. His grandmother died, and it forced him back into this very abusive home where he did not survive, and he perished very quickly. So these things have got to be rectified, and I think they put this child back in his mother's care because she had other children. But at the end of the day, there was a reason why he was taken out of her care. There was a reason why he was never cared for her by her. He is at the age that he was, 11, 12 years old at the time. She had no business being with him. They should have looked at her a little bit differently than putting this child they removed, that they deemed was unsafe for him to be there. And they removed him from her custody once before, and then hands her back years later, and he doesn't even survive. This is barbaric. They put this child in harm's way. The people that are supposed to be smarter than the rest of us put this child in harm's way. There has got to be some type of accountability. When people start, and it makes it very difficult because you have these social workers. If we start holding them accountable lawfully, then we're not going to have social workers because they get paid a dime a dozen, right? They get paid a dime a dozen. It's just a tough quagmire, right? Because no matter what, when it comes to these cases, it feels like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. If you strengthen laws to hold the people that are making these terrible decisions accountable at a criminal or civil level, then people aren't going to want the jobs, right? But the people that are getting the jobs right now aren't doing the jobs. So, and it's creating this hazard for the children. So what is the middle of the road? What could we reasonably do to fix those problems? I personally don't know. I personally don't know. I don't know because I just don't trust anyone anymore when it comes to children, right? What do you do in a situation where you've removed a child from their mother, put the child with their grandmother, the grandmother dies? Why would you put that child back with that mother that you took that child away from? Like, those are the types of things that don't make sense to me. And then we're so surprised and shocked that this child didn't make it. Well, you took this child out of this person's home because you knew the child wouldn't make it. And then you throw the child back into that home and wonder why he didn't make it. It's barbaric to me. It's barbaric. I don't understand it. I don't think any of us really understand why they're doing this. I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know why they would do this, but they do. I don't know who's making these decisions. The ants didn't want the responsibility either. Well, now the ants got a lot of crap to deal with now, don't they? They got to deal with this the rest of their life. Guys, I'm going to be going over Rex Heuermann and other cases, but we're kind of down to the end of our show for right now. Today is Saturday. I've got to be over at my best friend's, but there's another caveat. As many of you know, I'm leaving to go to Tallahassee on Monday. So we're probably going to have a very, very, very early live on Monday before I hit the road. I've already got one of your videos done for the 20th, for Tuesday. I'm going to try to get, I'm trying to do a 4-part series, but as you guys can tell, I'm running out of time. So I don't know how far I'll get in the series, but I'm hoping to at least have part 2 done today and maybe part 3 and 4 done tomorrow if I can spring it. But if I can only get part 2 or part 2 and 3, those will be your afternoon 20th and your morning of the 21st. And probably by the afternoon of the 21st, I might have some time to do just a normal little live with you guys somewhere in Tallahassee. It's going to be extremely cold, so I'll try to do my best on keeping you guys up to date. But the best thing is if you guys haven't subbed up to my X or my Facebook, please do. I keep a lot of, just like text stuff go there. I don't really do a whole lot of posts on YouTube, so if you're just watching YouTube to find out updates when I'm out of pocket, you're never going to get the updates. You're always going to be behind. But X and Facebook are where I post some stuff on my updates of what I'm doing and stuff like that. I'll be giving more play-by-plays on X. So if you're curious what I'm doing throughout the day on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then on the way back on Thursday, be on X, and I'll be keeping you guys up to date with the play-by-plays of what I'm learning. Maybe it's something that you guys would be interested in learning yourself. I really just don't know. But I'm very, very interested in learning what these Liberty Lobby Days are like. I'm a part of the Republican Liberty Caucus. I used to be a member of the Republican Liberty Caucus, and I became a new member again just to be able to do this Liberty Lobby Days up in Tallahassee with them and get in there. Lastly, there's just one other thing that I want to go over before we close it out, and this is going to be on a political note. I've noticed that it looks like the DeSantis campaign, which is supporting, I think, Jay Collins or something for governor, is starting to put out some not so nice posts of Byron Donalds. And it was related to the George Floyd event. And it's really causing some people to have selective outrage over this post or this commentary that he made at George Floyd. First and foremost, just like J.D. Vance, there was a toxicity in our House and in our Senate here in this country where they basically brainwashed all the freshmen saying, if you don't fall in line, we're going to ruin your career. And so that's what these young freshmen congressmen and women did. They just fell in line because that's what they were told to do, and they were scared of losing their position when we were having such, now granted, it's a scary time. This is the first time they've ever been employed in this position. I think since then, many of them found their own voice and found out who they were as a politician, much like J.D. Vance. So if you are a supporter of Byron Donalds, please continue to support him despite the mudslinging that's already starting. I'm going to be supporting him. I know he is part of the MAGA movement. I don't care what he's done before we developed this movement. I just care that he is a strong supporter of it, and he is MAGA first. So that means make America great again, right? That means America first. That means when he's a governor, we're going to be a Florida first state, and that's really what I want. So I just wanted to tell you that because I saw some stuff and people are like, oh, I'm not supporting him if he said this about George Floyd. And it's like, well, then don't support him. But I am because I know he's the best for the state of Florida, okay? These people that are associated with DeSantis, let me just tell you guys something. They have hijacked our local GOPs across this country in 67 states. You have no idea how angry I am with the Florida Republican Party right now. And they're going to have to deal with me at some point. And trust me, nobody likes dealing with me. I'm a boil on the butt of a politician. Let's not forget. My entire county commission rolls their eyes when I walk into a room. I'm perfectly fine being that eye-rolled person, okay? And so at the end of the day, somebody is hijacking our GOPs to put their hands on the election scales for our state, and you have no idea how angry I get when you try to rig a system, even if it's coming from my side. You bet your ass I'm going to expose the shit out of it. Let our GOPs go. Let our GOPs go. We have a right to run our local GOPs as we deem fit. How the hell are you going to tell us and make us vote on our committee men and women and then fire them? Who the hell are you to fire our committee men and women that we voted for on a ballot? And then you don't want to return my phone call? I would suggest The Florida GOP returned Bullhorn Betty's phone call before they're having to deal with my bullhorn. I'm just saying. We can do it the easy way or we can do it the hard way. You take your pick. But we are getting our GOP back in Manatee County, by God. Watch me work. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. God bless.